are back for an audio episode only of Things, Stuff and Words with Ben and Reid, if I can actually say the title of our own podcast correctly. It's been a while, leave me alone. My name is Ben Rogers, this guy's name is Reid Marnie. How's it going, Reid?
Ben, I'm okay, and great to see you, by the way, but I'm a little bit sad. I'm in mourning.
Okay.
And, you know, it's a really dark period in my life at the moment. It can be a bit fun in the next 2 weeks, but for the moment, it's the end of the footy season. It's just the worst time in my life at the moment. No footy at all. I mean, it's horrible. I hate this time of the year. It's horrible.
Yeah, but now we have something different to watch on weekends and Friday nights and stuff like that because the basketball season is back. So that's a good consolation, isn't it?
That is a good consolation, and I'm looking forward to the basketball, so that will keep me company over the next few months, but I'm still mourning football, Ben. Give me something, jeez.
Yeah. Well,
football, I love you.
Quickly touching on the basketball, though, because the team that we support in the NBL, which is our national competition here in Australia, is Melbourne United. And they're going through a bit of an interesting stage at the moment because the day after we record this podcast is when Melbourne United will head over to the US. They're already over there right now, but Monday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time, they're playing against Oklahoma City Thunder in an NBL versus NBA exhibition match for the NBA preseason. And unfortunately, Reid, we're without our franchise player because he has appendicitis.
Do you reckon he has just got the worst luck of all the NBL players who are going over there and actually going to play a game? Because he was looking forward to this. He was there on the media launch day for this thing, and he was so excited, and now he's got an injury.
I reckon it's one of those things, though, where like we're talking about Chris Goulding here, and he came out of last season with an ankle injury. He was pretty much going through the whole second half of last season with an ankle injury and was just waiting it out until the end of the season to, have surgery and get it all fixed. He spent pretty much the whole off-season recuperating and doing training camps and stuff like that to get his ankle back up to strength. So couldn't take part in, basketball competition anywhere else around the world. And now he's come back. He's got a big scouting opportunity to head over to the US and play this exhibition game and gets struck down again, this time by illness, and actually had surgery whilst his team was playing on Thursday night.
Do you reckon we're reading too much into it, though? Do you reckon the nerves got the better of him and he has injured, and I'm using the quotation marks when I say injured himself, and now he won't be able to partake in this awesome game over in the US?
I highly doubt it. I would say it's one of those things where the guy has NBA Summer League experience previously and would have been absolutely chomping at the bit to get over there and give it a go again and really kind of showcase his skills. And it's just kind of really unfortunate that he can't do that this time around. So hopefully he'll be making his return in the coming weeks as far as the Australian side of the basketball is concerned, and we'll see him make a pretty good effort to get his way through the season this year.
Look, hopefully it will. Must be said, really looking forward to how the rest of this season will play out, and even these exhibition matches they're playing over in America, even though they're not on free-to-air TV. But nevertheless, it's going to be fun to be able to listen and see the scores and see how they play over there. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
Well, if anyone's listening and finding the idea of NBL versus NBA intriguing, you can watch it here in Australia, I know, on ESPN2 on Foxtel. And if you can't watch it on there, you can check out the game live on NBA League Pass, or you can watch the game on the NBL app 12 hours after it was originally played. So you can watch it anytime 12 hours after on there for a $5 monthly subscription fee. So, which is not bad. It's not bad.
It's not a lot, so it's manageable. Yeah. If you can afford $5 a month, then good on you, which should be a lot of people, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good way of watching it. So you've given me a good option there, Ben.
Now, as far as things in life, Reid, you've been doing a little bit. You were at an auction today.
I did go to an auction, yes. On an auction on a Sunday, by the way. Very rare that they happen. And probably because I went to this auction and it didn't sell. So maybe that's why they don't have auctions on a Sunday. So maybe don't have an auction on a Sunday if you're thinking about, selling a house in the future. But that's just my land rat tip.
Is that a bit underwhelming when you go to an auction and it's supposed to be all a buzz and then the house doesn't sell?
Not to me. I'm going to sound really horrible here, but not to myself personally. To think that they can market a house and, go through it to an agent and sell it and not to sell it, I think they've put their trust in the wrong people.
Yeah.
but that's a bit negative sounding. But they didn't do their research, clearly. I mean, there's a reason why you have an auction on a Saturday. It's auction day. It's real estate's day of days.
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as this episode of the podcast is concerned, Reid, there's a couple of things that we've got down to have a chat about. On my side of things, I want to have a talk about something that a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk on YouTube, he's talking about all the time. He's a business guru, and he says that you should always have a side hustle going on where you should be earning some money on the side outside of your big full-time job that you have. And I've started with a bit of a side hustle thing, and it's been an absolute nightmare so far.
I'm intrigued to know about this. I've never heard this before, so I'm looking forward to hearing what your side hustle is all about.
So we want to talk about that up soon, but also I think we might start off, Reid, with your gaming exploits lately. You've got yourself a new console. It is the one that has come after the mini NES. It's the next generation of that gaming system in a mini version. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is I've got it right here in my hot little hand, and because this is the audio-only version, no one will be able to see this. But I'll put a post on Twitter for everyone to look at. And I want to give a size comparison, okay? So, and only Ben can see this, and I'm fully aware of that, by the way. There's my iPhone, so, iPhone, and there's mini SNES.
Oh, wow.
The iPhone's a bit bigger, but apart from that, SNES is a little thicker, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
In true McDonald's slogan style, I'm loving it. Da, da,
I know.
Da, da, da.
But, oh, mate, I'll tell you what, I have been looking forward to this day more than I have with the mini NES.
Yeah.
The reason why, there are games on this thing that I never played when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I blame young Reid for that. Young Reid could have had so much fun with a mini SNES, but he chose to go down the Nintendo 64 path. But he enjoyed the Nintendo 64. That's not to say he didn't enjoy it. He did enjoy it, but he would have liked to have also had the option of playing the mini SNES, apart from watching it when they played it on the TV show Amazing.
Yes, which was just amazing in itself. What games are on there that you haven't actually played before?
Well, the one that I really wanted to play was Donkey Kong Country. Never played that before, and that was one that I was really looking forward to. Also, Yoshi's Island.
Yeah.
And a game that I reckon a lot of people have played, which I have never played on any platform whatsoever, Super Mario RPG. It's just one I never got the chance to play. And I thought, I'm going to do myself a favor here. I'm going to go into YouTube. I'm going to look this up and see what the games were like before I actually had the option of playing it. The videos on YouTube, they looked incredible. I thought, yep, I want to play it. So I got it, and I reckon I was playing it for about an hour and a half last night on a Saturday night. And yes, that's what I do on my Saturday nights. I play video games. People my age are going out and meeting people. I'm playing video games.
Now, as far as this console is concerned, in comparison to the mini NES, one of the big gripes that people had with the mini NES was that the controller cord length wasn't long enough. It was only about like half a meter or so long or something like that, whereas the cables are a lot longer now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're about 2 meters long, so about 2 meters on top of what the NES was. But the thing that really annoyed me about that whole debate was the fact that you could actually buy extension cords for the controller. So that way, it didn't matter about the length of the original controller. Just had an extension cord onto your controller to put on your machine, and it gives you an extra 2 or 3 meters. Perfect.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you can actually order third-party wireless controllers for it now as well, can't you?
I believe you can. I haven't done a lot of research into that, but I've seen stuff you've shown me, and I think that could be a way to go. But I've got the cables at home with me anyway, so I'm going to enjoy that. But it's a good option to have that wireless option.
Yeah. Fair enough. So what are you enjoying the most? Which game are you enjoying the most on the mini SNES at the moment?
One that I played, and we've all played, and if you haven't, you're an idiot, but the game that I have played is Super Mario Kart.
Yep.
The reason why, it is frustratingly hard.
Yeah?
I'm trying to go around corners, and I'm one of those gamers that I don't brake when I go around corners. I just either take my hand off the accelerator button and go around the corner. I can't do it. I was going around this lap last night. I'm wondering, why can't I go around this lap? It's because I'm too fast on the accelerator. I've got to just be a bit gentle with it. I did break a lot of my controllers when I was quite young, so maybe I've got to learn a lesson there. But nevertheless, I'm really enjoying it. It's a simple game, Mario Kart, obviously, but it's a fun game. Hopefully I can work on myself and my controlling hands, but I reckon I'll be able to do it better.
I can't even remember off the top of my head going back that far to the original Mario Kart, but was there an option to be able to drift on there? Like, because you've got the left and right toggle keys at the top of the controller. Weren't they used for drifting?
Yeah, and I found that out last night too. I thought, well, surely these buttons have to have a purpose.
Yeah,
so I use those, and you can drift.
Well, that's the whole thing. Surely that's going to make it a lot easier for you taking all your corners and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm a slow learner, Ben. I don't learn things quickly like most people my age should. So instead of learning things like every other 20-odd-year-old, I'm learning them like a teenager. Very, very slow learner I am. Should learn
right.
by the way.
So has this stopped you from doing a lot of PS4 gaming at the moment, being on the mini SNES?
Well, it has. It has. I actually got back into Crash Bandicoot not that long ago. Really do enjoy that game, by the way. Yep. Really fun. But yes, I got a feeling that this little console here will consume a lot of my life for the next few months. I'm really loving my gaming at the moment.
It's funny, though, because in this house right now, there is a mini SNES.
Yes, and the story about your mini SNES has me quite, I don't know, annoyed, befuddled, amused, surprised, all those emotions.
Whilst I was at work during the week, my fiance was at home because she had the second week of school holidays off because she works at a high school. So she's in the administration office, so they always get the second week of the school holidays off just to, recuperate and stay home. She was at home last week, and my mini SNES arrived whilst she was at home, and I have not even seen the box. It is somewhere in this house. I have not even seen it at all. And I don't get it until the 26th of December.
Do you know who you are really annoying right now?
You, obviously.
Young teenage gaming Ben would be hating you right now.
Yeah,
You've got a gaming console over there in your house. You're not even playing it. You're not even looking at it. You haven't even seen it.
No.
I mean, what are you doing, Ben? What are you doing with your life? Young Ben hates you right now. You are disappointing, young Ben.
He's standing next to me in spirit right now, just going, damn you. If only I wasn't a spirit, I could slap you in the face. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, we mentioned this at the start of the show, is a little thing known as side hustle. Reid, have you heard about a lot of people talking about side hustle in recent times?
Well, I just thought it was the term people use when they refer to their, might be in a relationship and you might have a thing on the side, my side hustle.
No, that would be your side piece. That'd be your side piece, Reid.
Oh, clearly I don't have any experience in this area, and so obviously.
I'm guessing it would either be side piece, or if you were going to say side hustle, you would change the last couple of letters so it'd be your side hussy.
Or side hustler.
Not that we encourage any of that kind of language, but...
No. Very rare for us to go into this territory.
So side hustle is all about having something that is earning you money on the side apart from your full-time job that you're currently doing. So I currently work full-time in radio. I'm a imaging producer / on-air personality for the rest of this month until I change to a new job where I'm just going to be a copywriter and a little bit of on-air personality here and there whenever they need me, which is awesome. So on the side, I have decided to start up a Fiverr account to do some voice work for people. So people who need to, have their ads voiced and stuff like that around the world, if they want an Australian voiceover, they can come to me and say, hey, can you voice this for us? And I'm like, yeah, give me $5 and I'll voice it for you. So that's the general gist of Fiverr, if you've never heard of it before. Fiverr with 2Rs.com is the website. And basically you can offer your skill set in a professional atmosphere to people and just be like, okay, I can draw really well. I can design a logo for you or something. I can do voice work for you and voice your ad or your audio book or whatever you like. I can, send out a random message to one of your loved ones to say happy birthday in this character voice, whatever. So there's a whole heap of randomly weird stuff on there as well, but we won't go into all that. But so I've started off doing voiceovers, and so far I have managed to make $16 US from 2 clients. And the two clients that I've had so far, and there is a potential that one of them is listening to this right now because I actually let's just set the whole scene for this whole thing. Friday night, I was getting ready to go to bed, and it was 11:45 p.m. on a Friday, and just as I've, finished brushing my teeth, going through my nighttime routine, I put my phone down next to the bed and plugged it into the charger. And then next thing, my phone lights up and it's a notification from Fiverr. And it's some random dude who's just like, hey, sir, I need you to voice this for me right now. And I was just like, well, as my Fiverr gig says, I'm available for voice work between 9 and 5 Australian Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday, because that's when I can use my work facilities for top-notch audio. But if you want me to do it now outside of work, I can give you a lesser quality but still good quality option with my home setup. If you want to find out what my home setup sounds like, go to vid.me/Ben and Reid and you'll be able to hear my podcast, which is basically what my audio setup sounds like. So this guy's obviously clicked the link, gone through to there, got back to me, and he was just like, yes, home setup, can you do it now? And I was just like, oh, really? It's now 11:50 on a Friday night and he wants me to go and turn my computer on and go and voice this thing for him. And I was just like, right, okay. Usually I voice stuff for $5 and that is a 48-hour turnaround. A one-day turnaround, I put my price up to $12. So Oof. I was like, okay, that's for 100 words as well. So that's a pretty decent chunk of words that you're getting for $5 or $12, depending on how quickly you want it back. This guy only had around 35 words or so that he wanted me to voice. So I was just like, okay, considering it's 11:50 on a Friday night and you're wanting immediate turnaround, you don't have anywhere near 100 words, so I'm going to give you a discounted price here. I'm going to give you $8. And then he got back to me and he was just like, no, I can't budget for that. I only have 5. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you're getting me out of bed right now at this time on a Friday night. You're making me voice this for you right now for immediate turnaround, and you can't make this worth my while at all? And he's just like, yeah, $5. And I was like, ugh, whatever. So I restructured the offer, sent through a custom offer for him. I wrote in the custom offer. I was just like, absolute bargain basement price of $5 for the reading of your supplied script. And then it said ... no revisions, all caps, exclamation mark. So basically, if I sent through a run to him and he paid for it and he didn't like it, then that was it. He couldn't get another one. I was done. So I sent it through to him and I was uploading the file. And as I was uploading the file, he was sending more messages through to me saying, so, come on, where is it? Come on, send it through. And I was just like, dude, I don't control the speed of the internet. It takes a little bit for the file to upload. Calm your farm. It's uploading now. It'll be with you soon. And he's just like, oh, okay. So the file's uploaded. It's sent through to the guy. He's paid for it, downloaded, all that kind of stuff, had to listen to it, sent back to me saying, thanks, man, good work. Gave me a 5-star review, which was great. Thank you very much if this guy's listening. So good stuff. I appreciate that. That makes my rating go up. So good stuff. But then after that, I've altered some stuff on my gig to say, okay, if you want top-notch audio, I can do it between 9 and 5. If you want lesser quality audio, I can do with my home setup kind of thing. So that took me until about, 12:30 at this point. Went and did a couple of things after turning my computer off. So by the time I got back into bed, it was like 12:50. I'd been out of bed for another hour. And then just as I turned my bedside light off, rolled over, got myself comfortable in bed, I kind of still had my eyes open, and then the room lit up from my side of the bed because I got another Fiverr notification on my phone. And I was just like, what? You've got to be kidding me. I've looked at my phone. It's this same dude again. And he's like, can you... he's like, can you do another one, please? And I was just like, no, dude, it's 12:50 on a Saturday morning here at the moment. I'm in bed. No chance. And he sent me back like, please, exclamation mark. And I was just like, no, seriously, dude, it's late. My fiance's trying to sleep. I just want to go to bed now. It's a really inconvenient time. As much as I'd love to help, it's just really inconvenient timing. Sorry, I can do it for you in the morning if you want me to, but that's the best I can offer. And he's just like, I understand, no worries, have a good night. And I was just like, holy shit, that was the most I've ever gone through to earn $5 in my life.
Even kids don't do that kind of work to earn $5. They just wash the car or
exactly.
put the bins away for $5.
Got a freaking lemonade stand out the front of their house. In an hour, they're earning like $25. It took me an hour to get $5, and he's still freaking hassling me.
So for all the people that are on this service, like yourselves, that have this voiceover stuff going on, this dude, for whatever reason, has chosen you to be his target. Yeah. Right, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get him to voice all of my stuff, and I'm not even going to charge him the full amount. I'm going to want him to do it for next to nothing.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Like, when I'm listed as an Australian voiceover, right? So on the website, it shows what my current time is around the world if you're trying to contact me. This guy wasn't.
That's a good idea.
This guy wasn't from Australia, so he would have seen full well that when he was contacting me in my time zone, it was 11:45 on a Friday night. But he still tried to contact me and get something done immediately in the first place, which generously I've done for him. But then to still keep contacting me, even though he knows that it's now 10 to 1 on a Saturday morning, and still try and get me to turn my computer back on and do more stuff for him, I'm just like, no, dude, it's not happening.
I seriously don't like people. I don't like people who do this sort of thing because, you know, you thought you'd go into this, have a bit of fun, you know, just a fun little thing to do, and now he's ruined all of your fun.
Actually, I'll see if I can find the script for you here. Just so I can show you what I actually read for him. Let's see. His name was
Let's see what was so important.
His name was Jonathan with a Y, not a J. Jonathan.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan! I've never heard it before.
Jonathan, and he said, "I need this now, sir. It requires you to act the part and read it. Let me know, like you were saying it." And the script is: texting gave me a little more time to think and answer and helped me refine the problem in succinct responses, which I felt helped to get to the problem. I found it less confronting to do text rather than phone for some reason.
That's it.
That was the script. And
if this guy was smart, he would get a recording of this podcast and he would use that.
From setup, though, like from that message, this was the exact messaging that went through. I said, sorry, but if you want me to do this, I can't until Monday. As it says in my gig, I can only record for now during work hours Monday to Friday, unless you don't mind slightly lesser quality audio with my current home setup, which I can do in the morning. If you want an example of my home quality setup, go to vid.me/Ben and Reid. So I offered him to do it from my home setup in the morning. But he was still like, home setup, can you do now? I said, yep, immediate delivery at 11:45 p.m. on a Friday night is $8. And he messaged me back and he said, how about now? And I was just like, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's 11:45 p.m. on a Friday night for me right now, plus immediate delivery, hence why my asking price is $8. Does that suit you? And so I went and recorded it, and he was just like, when is that? What part of this don't you understand? It's like right now.
The name says it all. Jonathan. With a Y. Seriously? That's his name?
So that was my Fiverr experience, and I'm going to keep going with Fiverr because, you know, it is going to earn me a tiny bit of cash on the side, and I don't need all that much extra cash on the side, but it's just nice to know that you have a second form of income, even in a small capacity, if you need it. So I'm doing that for now, but yeah, it's just been an interesting experience.
Maybe this could be your hustler. Your hustle project, your hustle project, have a video set up where you also do a YouTube channel or a Vidme channel about you're going through with all this situation, you know. And this is what I've been doing this week with the voiceovers. Enjoy, and then you do your stories about what you've been doing during the week for hustle. Wow,
this has been my week on Fiverr.
What a fun week.
Now, Reid, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about something concerning cafes, and you're saving this whole thing for the podcast. You haven't elaborated on this at all so far. So what's your gripe? What's going on here as far as cafes are concerned?
Well, you know me, Ben. I do love my coffee. Over the past few years, I have managed to reduce the amount of coffees I have. I don't need as many to function anymore, so that's a good thing. But one thing I do is I never go to a cafe that's busy. You can go past any cafe. There'll be nothing but people in a cafe. One thing I do when I go to a cafe is I read the newspaper. Call me old-fashioned, but that's what I do. The problem is a lot of cafes nowadays only order one copy of each newspaper, not multiple copies of different newspapers. They order one copy of each newspaper. Lately, I've been noticing a trend. Every time I go into a cafe, have the same setup, one copy of each newspaper. And guess what, my friend? You can bet your bottom dollar that everyone who's already sitting down in the cafe has a copy of said newspaper. So I go into the cafe and they've only got magazines. They're months and years old, and I don't want to know how many children Nicole Kidman has had by now. I just want to read today's newspaper, have a coffee, and just relax. Yeah. But I can't relax because there's no copies of the newspaper.
And yeah,
I'm more angry when I'm more angry inside my head, but trust me, I'm furious.
And like you said, as far as the magazine selection is concerned, you don't really need to know about how many times Beck and Leighton Hewitt have broken up and got back together again, even though they've never actually broken up and gotten back together. It's just the rags trying to say that.
Even they've lost count of how many times they've been reported in the magazines. I think that they just settle for another week, another story about us. But the thing, and I know the argument could be said that, Reid, why don't you just go on your phone and go on the internet? Well, guess what? I've got a prepaid mobile phone. None of these cafes have Wi-Fi. Like, seriously, what's that about? Have Wi-Fi if you're not going to have enough newspapers to, satisfy your customers.
Yeah. But then
it really drives me nuts.
I don't know. I find that as far as online newspapers and news sources are concerned, you're still kind of, better off just staying away from them and waiting for a newspaper rather than trying to wade through the piles and piles of crap that you find on these news source websites. Like news.com.au, for example, one of the worst news sources I think I can possibly ever imagine. But I have to use it for my job, so I'm there pretty much every day. And it's deplorable, that website.
Yeah, that and Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of stories they have on there that are actually factual, I would be hard to believe they'd do one a day. But the thing is, I like reading the newspaper. I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like sometimes there might be like a feature interview with someone, or there might be a story in there that's got my attention and I'm reading it. I was in a cafe this morning. They had a copy of each newspaper, and they had 2 or 3 copies of each newspaper. That's how you do it. Yeah. You don't just get one copy of the newspaper, because there's only 3 going around, really. And even then, I just get so annoyed. It boggles my mind. Look, I get it. I totally do. I know it's a cost thing. I know they have to spend money to get the newspaper. I get that. I totally do. But surely, if you respect your customers, you'll pay that little bit extra to get another copy of the newspaper.
Even at work where I am right now in Ballarat, there's one lady in the office who is just notorious for trying to find the newspapers around the office just so she can get the daily games page out of each, so she can do her Sudoku and crosswords and all that kind of stuff in her lunch break. So we'll find the papers somewhere in the afternoon, and like one big page has been ripped out of them and they're all sprawled all over the place because she had to get her Sudoku out of there.
See, even little things like that. People think that newspapers have no purpose anymore. I think they totally do. Even like the Sudoku, the crossword puzzle, and the celebrity confidential section. I love it all. But please, cafes and any organisation that has customers that come in for food and drink or whatever, have more than one copy of the newspaper, because it's driving me nuts. Do it to make me happy, please. So hopefully people are listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Get more than one copy, please. Anyway, that's about as angry as I'll get.
All over newspapers as well.
Oh, yes.
First world problems with Ben and Reid.
First world problem. Hashtag first world problem. But for me, it's an actual problem.
Well, Reid, we've gone to about 32-ish minutes there, and I think we've covered everything that we strive to cover. So we might wrap things up there. So if you want to follow along with the show, of course, you can find us on Twitter at Ben and Reid on Twitter. You can also find us on Instagram as well. But Instagram, I've noticed since we've been back on there, it's just a pile of crap. I don't think do we even want to be on Instagram technically anymore, or are we?
It'll be like that uncle you see that you never really speak to. We'll tolerate him for the moment, but unless he continues to clean up his act, we won't tolerate him anymore. So that's where we're at Instagram at the moment. We'll tolerate it, but not for too much longer.
It is seriously just all Instagram fitness models or other people who have podcasts that every time you use the hashtag podcast, they purposely like one of your posts, so you go and check them out, and then they get more people listening to their podcast.
So maybe we should follow their sneaky advice and do what they do.
Yeah.
Join the herd.
Just start liking all these podcasts and just be like, hey guys, come and check out our podcast as well. It's fun. You'll like it.
Yeah, sure. Ben and Reid, I'll totally do that.
So if you want to follow along as far as the audio and video side of the show is concerned, you can find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, and iTunes. SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/Ben and Reid. You can find us on Vidme, which is the official video platform of this show. That's vid.me/Ben and Reid as well. We're also on YouTube, but we haven't got enough subscribers to be able to change our URL to Ben and Reid, so you just have to search for us. If you find us and YouTube doesn't bury us in the nosebleed section of their YouTube search history, then yeah, you'll find us there. But YouTube is notoriously good for doing that to people. If you don't have the views, they're just like, yep, back of the line, bitch.
Well, if you're not popular enough, we don't care about you.
Yeah, if you're not actively earning us money right now as we speak at this very second, we don't give a crap about you. So back of the line. Yeah, well, anything else to add, Reid, before we sign off, or...?
Well, Ben, I find it quite bizarre that it's a nice day weather-wise. I mean, I'm looking out my window right now and the sun's out, blue sky. Mm-hmm. It's perfect. And we're indoors recording a podcast on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, we're clearly not the outdoorsy type, are we?
Well, it's 3:02 on a Sunday afternoon right now as we speak. And, you know, we've still got plenty of time to get out there. We've recorded our podcast. We have our obligation done. We can go and do some things now if we like. Anyway. We're going to sign things off. We will catch you in the next episode, whenever that might be, sometime within the next month or whenever we decide to do another one, because, you know, we do podcasts, but we don't really care about the consistency of them, so...
We care about our listeners, so we'll give you a product whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, probably best place to watch or best place to see up-to-date things about what we're doing is on Twitter. So check us out right there, at Ben and Reid on Twitter. You'll see some random videos pop up every now and then of like podcast highlights and all that kind of stuff. Who knew that we had highlights on this show? There you go.
We have them apparently, and they're highlights, but we'll let you be the judge of that.
Yeah, exactly. So we will catch you next time. Until then, I've been Ben Rogers. This guy has been Reid Marnie, and that's it. See you, bye.